Today we're going to work on this Freightliner Columbia. It's got a little bit of a problem in the air system. What happens, you can start the truck up, and it'll build air pressure up to 125 psi. Once it hits 125 psi, the governor kicks out, and you're driving along. It should be purging the air dryer, and it does. And then when you are applying the brakes, the pressure drops down, and it won't start to create pressure again. So I'll show you what's wrong with this one. Let me get this thing up to pressure. All right, I'm going to explain as best as my knowledge of an air compressor how it works on this truck. It's going to be very basic. This is the air compressor here. That's the air compressor head. It's bolted to the engine. It's driven off the front gears. So the whole time the engine is running, the air compressor is spinning. Now, it's not always making air pressure, but it is spinning. It brings in fresh air off of our intake over here and comes down into here, this bracket, over to here into our inlet. Okay, when it comes in and when there's demand for air pressure, the compressor starts making air and sends it out on this line here to the air dryer, which is on the other side of the truck. We'll talk about that in a minute. This air compressor is lubricated here with oil, has an oil return, and a lot of times they'll have coolant also, engine coolant, to keep it cool. So you have lubricant and cooler sometimes. Okay, so this thing is, when there's demand for air, it's making air pressure. Now, what controls whether it's making air pressure or if it's just free spooling and just spinning but not actually creating pressure is all by the governor right here. That governor is basically, it has a line that goes from here way back underneath the truck to the primary tank, or the wet tank. When that tank reaches adequate air pressure, there's a valve inside that governor that has a spring on it. When the air pressure is enough to overtake that spring, it moves it to one side. When it does two things. It puts the compressor into free spool so that it doesn't make air pressure, and it also sends air pressure over to the air dryer so that it can purge. So now we'll go over the air dryer. We'll talk a little bit more about that, but that's how we have the compressor on here, and it's spinning all the time, but it's only making air pressure when there's a demand for it. Okay, let's go to the air dryer. This is the air dryer. So the line comes in here, and the air goes through this. There's a big filter inside here. It takes out moisture, contaminants, like dirt, oil, whatever else. And what happens is, every time that the tanks have reached enough pressure, and the compressor doesn't need to make air anymore, any air pressure, it diverts it to this little line here. So this gray line comes in here, and when that pressure's on there, it overtakes the purge and allows it to open momentarily, and it purges that out. That is the problem we're having. So it won't close. So I believe what's happening is it's just all crudded up, and we're going to see if we can take it out, clean it up. And I know I'm not going to be able to find this today. It's a Sunday afternoon, or Saturday afternoon late, and I keep saying Sunday. I think it's Sunday. It's Saturday afternoon late. I'm out. There's not a lot of places around here to get stuff, so let's take it out. Let's see what we can find. Hopefully it's a quick fix. A lot of guys will take and bypass the dryer to get you home. They'll take the incoming line and the outgoing line, take the two of them and tie them together and bypass the dryer to get themselves home. I'm hoping I can take that apart, clean it up, and be on my way. So let's see what we can do. So everywhere I go, I take my travel toolbox, and I always take a little bit of starting fluid and some type of penetrating oil, lubricant, something like that. So in this case, starting fluid works just as good as brake parts cleaner for cleaning stuff. So that's what I'm going to use to clean that valve. I got it out. This O-ring I've got off right now because I'm cleaning it, but this is a heater. So this heating element keeps this warm, so when it's purging and the moisture comes out, that this doesn't freeze open. So it tries to keep it warm in the wintertime. I was cleaning this up and there's a whole bunch of black crap coming out. It comes in this, down this, through these channels. It opens and closes and lets it purge down through here. Of course, nobody has one of these local. So I cleaned it up. I'm gonna lube the O-rings up with some lubricant, and we're gonna put it in and see if just cleaning it up helps us out and gets us going again. All right, we're gonna start it up. It's already down below the demand for air. I'm gonna get it up close and then we'll see what it does. All right, it's sealed back up. Let's go make a demand for air again. Alright, you see here, it's up to 120 and it just purged off one good time and sealed back up. So now we're going to apply the brakes a bunch of times, get it to where we have a demand for air pressure so that governor will slide. Alright, we should have a demand there. We're going to turn the cruise on. Bring the RPMs up a little bit, just so it doesn't take forever. See, it's building again, like it's supposed to. When we get close, I'm gonna cut the cruise control back off, and then we'll go watch it again. Maybe once we hit to about 115 or so. It's building air pressure much faster now. Okay. Should hear it purge any second. There it went. Okay. I'm gonna say we're good. Now let's go check down there for leaks. Make sure that valve's not leaking. Cleaning up is all we did, so I'll go ahead and order another one, and I'll put it in when it arrives. Because liking this, that's gonna become a problem again. Is pretty good because all I did was take it apart and clean it. So anyways, let's get it down the road. Alright guys, I've been testing this and it's working just fine. So I drove it a bunch of miles because I gotta make sure it's handled before I hook to this trailer that I'm picking up, because I don't want to have troubles once we hooked up to the trailer. It's a whole lot easier to deal with it now than it is, you know, truck and trailer, where it's harder to get it into a parking lot or something. But I think we got it. Now I do have a leak in the secondary tank. There's a fitting on there that's leaking a little bit. It's kind of crusty. The tank is. I need to replace the tank, so I'll have to do that also. Now I know there's a lot of guys going to say you can rebuild that purge valve, and I get it. But this truck's old. It's 2005. We're just going to go ahead and replace it. I ordered a new one. I will order a new one, I should say, and we'll replace it. But I cleaned it up. Seems to be working just fine. So I hope I explained kind of how the air compressor works and how it charges, and how it goes into a free spool. Basically, when that governor slides, it basically lets that compressor just spin but not actually make any pressure. And when it does that, you know, then it shifts the other side and it puts air pressure over to the air dryer from the tank and allows it to purge all the crap and contaminants. So every time that the air compressor comes up to pressure and then cuts off, it allows that dryer to purge and get the crap out of it. So that's kind of how it works, and that's the best understanding I have on it. So I hope that helps somebody, or if it's at least some little bit of entertainment. I'm going to leave you with that. I need to go get back to driving so we can go pick up what we're doing and get back home. If you like what we're doing, give us that thumbs up. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Leave your comments down below, guys. We'll catch you on the next one.